going to start here in just a second. Okay, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So my name is Brandon Marshall, and you guys.
Hi, I'm Al.
I'm Jalea.
I'm Kaylin.
I'm Keelan.
I'm Pamela. Wait, Brandon, are you recording?
I'm recording, yes.
Oh, sorry, Brandon.
No, that's okay. Has everyone introduced themselves?
I'm Rihanna.
There you go. All right. So for my speech, I will be talking about the ancient Mesopotamians and lessons that can teach us about time, society, and death. Now, imagine for yourself 1,000 years ago a merchant by the name of Sherida. She wakes up in the morning and spends her time with her husband and children. But then as she starts her day, she'll make her way past different stalls from different people, all with different aromas and scents and wares that they're selling, until she makes her way to her own stall. And throughout the day, as she whiles away the minutes and the hours, she meets all different kinds of people from the different countries of Mesopotamia, like Akkad, Sumer, city-states like Babylon. I'm going to back up a bit. The lives of ancient Mesopotamians affect us to this very day. My own interest comes from my study of mythologies and cultures of ancient Mesopotamians for creating a world for my webcomic, Princess of the Thousand Dead. With that in mind, allow me to show you how the ancient Mesopotamians taught us lessons about time, society, and death. For time, the ancient Mesopotamians actually came up with the 60-second minute and the 60-minute hour. This was due to their, according to a historian, Helen Metz, the priesthood actually came up with the 60-second minute and 60-minute hour because to them, their gods were represented by numbers. And the number 60 was for the supreme god Anu. And this idea helped them with their agriculture and merchants, and nowadays we still use the minute and the hour that they came up with. Secondly, they taught us lessons about society. Specifically, what's interesting about them is, unlike other civilizations from the past, like the Greeks and the Egyptians that were unified, the Mesopotamians were actually various groups that only had a few things in common. Like they had the same kind of gods, and they also treated women differently too. Women were actually more equal back in Mesopotamian times. They could actually divorce their husbands. They could get businesses, own land, make trade, and everything like that. So it's more reflective of today's society than even the Romans. Mesopotamia was actually home to the first cities. A lot of these became city-states that were so powerful, like Babylon, that they could actually almost function like countries and kingdoms. And within these cities, they had classes. They had the nobility and the king. They had the priesthood. There was also the upper class, lower class, and the slaves, which fortunately nowadays we don't have slaves that, in a lot of our culture. But we do have a middle class that bridges upper and lower class. We also don't really have very many monarchs nowadays, and our nobility is mostly politicians and very rich people. And for the third lesson they taught us is a bit more of a darker lesson, and that was about death. To the ancient Mesopotamians, death was less of the final journey and more of just a continuation of ours. Their underworld, called Orkala, was actually a vast desert full of thirst and pain that could only be alleviated by their descendants giving libations, basically offerings of wine, water, food to help ease them through this. The underworld was ruled by Eris Kaigal, who is pictured here in this presentation. And you can kind of echo it here in modern times with the whole, like retirement homes. Should we take care of the elderly like they took care of us when we were younger? And a moment, sorry. In conclusion, hopefully I've shown you and taught you how early cultures like Mesopotamia helped shape our modern life. For at the end of the day, we must remember those who came from the past and how they taught us lessons about time, society, and death. To end this presentation, allow me to show you these pieces of art I created for my webcomic that I studied Mesopotamian history for, just to kind of shape everything. You've got the main character, Ukala, that I named after that underworld. She's called the Princess of the Thousand Dead. Her and her sisters rule over 7 different city-states, all underneath their father. They all had different mothers. They all represent something. And hers and the people that she represents mostly do the army because of this undead army she guides. But I also, made stonework and everything based on the ziggurats that the Mesopotamians had and everything. And then just, the artwork and cuneiform. And that's it. Thank you. Any questions? No? Thank you.